Welcome to another episode of the Black Astronauts Podcast. This is an adult podcast, so if you are 17 and under, kick rocks. Go learn about why the NFL is BS. And really, you should be kicking in the NBA. That's another story for another day. But if you are 18 and over, man, just sit down. Have a drink with us. Just kick it, It's just your cousins. I'm here with two other people of esteemed virtue, and I will pass the mic to the host of the evening, the homie Rock.
It was good, man. I thought you was about to roll with it. You took that breath. I was like, oh shit, he's handed it. All right, it's the damn baton.
No. That's what you call crossover.
I did notice you did say 18 and over. I was like, oh, we must be in Germany because he giving drinks like it's a fucking family reunion. Your little cousin just turned 18. Don't tell your daddy.
What is the difference between 18 and 21, really? I mean, are we saying at 21 you have done that much better in life that you can drink?
You might have gone to war.
Yeah.
I think you deserve a drink.
Yeah, I don't think you should get arrested for that.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Rock, and this is the Black Astronauts Podcast main show. How y'all doing?
Good.
All right, that's the first time I've experienced that. I'll never do that. I'll never do that to Aaron again.
Amazing. Wonderful.
Takes your soul a little bit, huh? Yeah.
Man, it's rough, man. Yo, there are a lot of ways that y'all can get in contact with us. I'm just going to start with the business because that's the personality that I got. Shout out to Small Eyes for the theme song. Y'all heard before y'all jumped on this joint. Yeah. And if y'all want to hit us on Twitter, check us out at Black Astronaut 1. Email blackaastronautspodcast@gmail.com. Voicemail still popping. 502-498-8814. I think there might be an extra 8 in there. 502-498-8814. And we on Facebook too. Business is out the way. How y'all been, man? Why don't we start with Lita?
All right, that much going on, huh?
You blinked. Okay, so you went out just before you said my name. So, hello. How is it going?
That was great.
I hope that is not a reflection of what the rest of the evening will be like.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. So the question was, how am I doing? I'm fine now. Yep. He's gonna kill us.
That's good. No, man. It gave the inmates the key. It's fine, man. Sometimes the trash ain't gonna get taken out.
Attention. Yeah, there you go.
That's it. What last week been good? Last 2 weeks actually.
Yeah, it has been a couple. Yes, it's been good. I have been. What has gotten me sort of like through to this point? Asking myself, what's the alternative? And that's what's gotten me through. Because sometimes, you know what? That's what you got. And that's what I've had. And luckily, hope has prevailed. And I'm still.
There you go.
Okay. All right. All right. So with that, Teddy, what's going on with you, man?
Listen, y'all. It's a good and stressful time in the life. I am selling our first house that we currently live in and buying a second house. Listen, this is for the birds, man.
Yeah. Sounds like you're adulting. Like for real.
The birds. Mm-hmm. And I really like our realtor. He's a good dude. But he's also super talkative.
Oh, that must be so much fun.
Yeah, like what's the good? He's extremely verbose. Like we're saying things in 200 words that could have been said in 10. Like what are we doing here, man? What are we really doing? So good dude, friend, whatever, all these good things, but sometimes I just want to get to get to the meat of what you're saying, man. But other than that, it's good, man. It's looking like, kids going to be in a good school. That's important.
Okay.
All that good
Nice,
stuff.
nice.
Yeah, man. Life is good. Just annoyingly stressful. But other than that, we're straight. So
where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me Teddy_D_ on Twitter. Shout out to Kyle Love. And then Facebook, we are in the Black Astronauts Network group that you can find us. Side note, there may be a couple of members you won't see anymore very soon, because I want to reemphasize that this is a safe zone where people can feel free to, cut loose a little bit, be positive, without people being complete jerks. So if you listen to this and you know who you are, I'm coming for you, dog. I just haven't had time this week. All right? So, but if it doesn't apply to you, keep having fun. That's it.
You know what? I'm moving on. Lita,
I'm like, I ain't do nothing. I'm good.
I rule with an iron fist when the hand is gone.
If you're froggy elite. Lita, I forgot to ask you, where can they find you?
Totally okay. So you can find me also on Facebook at Lita Mixed Reviews.
Nice. So with me, man, all right. So I've been going through this thing with my barber. Right. So I got a barber.
Important relationship.
Good kid. 26 years old.
Okay.
Not trying to disrespect the man. He's 26, but so I like to. I got business tendencies. I like to get my hair cut first thing Saturday morning.
Ooh.
When you say first thing, what do you mean by first thing?
I'm talking about like 7:30 a.m.
Oh.
See, that's kind of late to get in the barbershop first.
See?
Though.
Really?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's so crazy.
This dude is treating 7:30 a.m. like I'm asking him to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And
see, I don't know barbershop life. To me, that was like 7:30 on a Saturday. What he do to you? But no.
You and him must be kindred spirits.
Apparently.
So this fool, this gentleman of good standing somewhere.
You gonna log on Facebook and see Rock's hairline looking like a W.
That's how you feel. Wait till next Saturday.
Oh my, so like it just got out of hand. Like I would first call the dude at 6:30, and then I would like text him at 7.
See, no, I'm doing too much.
So what, you're waking him up? Now, see, I don't like to be up that early, but if I agree to it, I'm responsible for getting myself there.
Man, so I was like, that was it. I hit my breaking point, and I just didn't hit him up. Didn't hit him up for about 2 weeks straight.
Yeah. And
like, I'm one of those, like, I do it weekly. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Every other week I go weekly. This is money.
Okay.
I tip.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I got to cut. I let my hair grow a little bit. Yeah. I bought me some Andy's tea clippers.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
And
now,
I just ain't.
Now, when you're going, what are you telling them? What's the cut?
What is it, man? I do different things. Right now, it's like temper fade, kind of deal, beard, all that good stuff.
All right, okay, okay.
So all of it, right? Yeah. I mean, he does a great job. Don't get me wrong. He is a phenomenal. Like, he does barber battles and all of that. He is the man.
Sure.
Yeah, I ain't hit him up for 2 weeks. I was like, I could struggle with this T clipper for about 2 good weeks. He texts me. He texts me like, I'm gonna see you tomorrow morning.
Where you been, baby?
Don't be like that. Did you voice your frustrations to him?
I responded like, you tell me.
Wow.
You tell me, sir. You know what I'm saying? So for 2 weeks in a row, I told him, I was like, I ain't calling you no more, man. Like, I'm just gonna see you there at 8. And hopefully. So 2 weeks in a row. But it just reminded me that you will teach people how to treat you.
Oh yeah, sure, because they'll just do whatever. Speaking of, real quick, have you ever left a barber broken up with the barber before?
Yeah, man, you can't ever go on that street again.
Hey, dog, it's real. It is real. Hey, and if anybody follows me on Twitter, you can see an awkward exchange about 2 years ago with my old barber who never listened to the podcast. Never listened to the podcast. Tracked me down, followed me, unfollowed me, and then followed me again to make sure I saw him.
Oh.
And I got nothing, man. So me being me,
you broke his heart.
I did, but then I posted a picture of my son's cut from his new barber. It was pretty good. I just I wanted to know that the petty was equally available on our side.
But you was 50 Cent level. You bought his first 5 appointments.
On your bad side.
Well, I mean, because he doesn't take appointments. He doesn't take appointments.
See.
How can you gotta sit there and just go?
Yeah, no, I don't have 3 hours and 14 minutes to wait. I mean, what? And this is two cuts that we get.
That's money.
Come on, dog.
All right, man. We can't spend no more time on this, man. But it's just
all the barbers out there. If you're not taking appointments, you're gonna lose all your clients. Just know.
I'm just saying, man. Look, okay, all right. Yep. That's gonna just be another episode. Baba Talk.
That's
New
it.
Show.
That's it.
New show on the BAP network. All right, so with that, man, it is Super Bowl Sunday, and it's been a long time, but as we was getting ready for this show, it was like, God damn, I think we got a theme.
Yep.
It kind of worked itself out. Yeah.
I think we got a theme. So for the meat, for the belly, for the midsection, for my thickums ladies out there, I love you.
What happened?
Hey, man.
Don't make me relapse. That's good.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, we gonna talk about the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna start off, and I just had a real question because, all right, so Gladys Knight.
Ooh.
Gladys Knight recently she performed at the MGM out here in Maryland.
Right.
And in the show, I didn't go. One of my peoples was there. She's like, 27. And she went with her father. They had a great show. Okay. And she said Gladys Knight actually was on stage, and she was just saying how she didn't perform for 10 years. 10 years because she said she started performing. No one was coming to her shows anymore. She basically just didn't have a connection with this generation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So about a year, maybe 2 years ago, she started again, and she was like all of the young folk, they know the words, they bonded with their parents, and she was like, it was just this resurgence of love for her music.
Okay.
And then last motherfucking week, maybe 2 weeks ago, she was like, but what I am gonna do is not only am I gonna perform at the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna talk a little shit about, Kaepernick. Not directly about Kaepernick, but like basically making the same argument that the NFL is making, which is, got nothing to do with the game, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you don't have nobody around your ass to be like, no,
shh, just stop. Don't.
Like, usually with white people, we be like, see, now we know there ain't nobody in your camp black.
Right. Because you don't know them better. So they'd have stopped you.
I'm like, you don't have no nieces. You don't have no nephews. You don't go to church with a youth ministry. There ain't no one around you to be like, hey, Nana, chill.
So I think she'll get away with this a little bit more because I don't know. I feel like when I look at my, Facebook, timeline, there are a whole lot of black folks still loving the NFL. Yeah. So I think she got some backlash over it, but I don't feel like she's going to lose everybody for it.
Well, she obviously ain't, because, people ain't really saying nothing too much about Big Boy either, because Big Boy going to be performing. So, I just had to put it out there. I was like, all right, so I'm doing all this judgment, but then I had a moment of clarity. And I said, all right, let me be real for one moment. And not that I have an answer to this, but I'm going to throw it on y'all.
All right, I'm ready. You going to answer it too, but go ahead.
Yeah, last. So if you were offered $1 million, I don't know how much it is, but let's just say, well, fuck it, $500,000. All of us. If you were offered $500,000 to $1 million to sing the national anthem, that's your skill set. That's your world. That's something you are able to do. My black people, would you?
No. And let me tell you
why. Why not?
2 words for me. Chrisette Michele.
I was about to say, who?
Everyone may not know what's going on with her. Go ahead, give me some.
Okay, so
why don't they know?
After 45 got elected, Chrisette Michele sang at one of his inaugurations. Since then, I posted the article. Go and check out Black Astronauts Network group on Facebook, and once again, act accordingly. But I posted the article, I believe it was either from the New York Times or Washington Post, where the title was essentially like, hey, what happened to Chrisette Michele? And in that article, which I admittedly read with a Grinch-like smile on my face, it described her playing a small venue, and it was only like 20% filled. And from that 20%, like she had to ask people to come towards the front to fill in the. I mean, it was the epitome of like woof. Like I'm pretty sure Johnny Gill is attracting a bigger audience. You know what I'm saying? I know that's shade on Johnny, but I'm just making the point. Johnny ain't had a hit in years. So, but like because she came close to Trump, and mind you, she didn't speak to him. I'm sure she didn't endorse him, but after
she even saw him, wasn't she at someplace that he wasn't even there?
Yes. But after that whole thing went down, she was very much so. She was defensive, and she was what's a good word? She was defiant, almost like I didn't do anything wrong. Much like Mary talking about voting for Trump, whatever. Yeah. But like,
oh, I missed that one.
Oh man, just do your Googles.
The Chrisette Michele one was hard though because I loved her. I really did. It actually broke my heart that I could never listen to her again. I loved her, but then not only did she do it, not only was she defensive, but there was also this point that like she was somehow like standing up for or speaking for Black people, like she was some kind of representative, and I'm like, what? No.
But you, Teddy.
2 words, Chrisette Michele, though.
But okay, all right. You just like
because here's the thing about it: what you're gaining in that meal, you're going to lose after your fan base, which I'm assuming would be similar to Chrisette Michele, finds out what happened. That's it. It's short-term money, the fast money over long term. Basically, you a drug dealer now. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So,
okay.
Instead of going to college, you slinging. So, no.
All right, Lita, what about you?
I want to be able to sleep at night. And I feel like it's not worth the price you'd pay. So yes, there's a financial piece if I'm a performer and that's what I do, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I could take this, but then I'm going to be blacklisted. So there's that piece of it, but there's also just the piece of like, especially with 45, but even with the NFL one where like, it's not worth it. It feels like taking dirty money. It feels like taking the money from the drug dealer that I know was selling like in the neighborhoods to the kids. God, it just don't feel right. So
is that level? Was it What's his name? Marlo?
Yeah, Marlo Stanfield. Yeah. Yeah.
Stanfield money.
Man. That's it.
Jesus.
All right.
Let me see.
You still thinking about it, dog?
There's no judgment here. There's no judgment here.
Go on and say it. Go on and say it.
it.
Because I feel like you just did. But go on and make it official and say it. Come on.
Man, my pause is almost as long as Lita's. How you doing? Nah, yeah, y'all know. Y'all, well, maybe don't know. It would be a no, but it would hurt.
Yeah.
It would hurt.
Yeah.
I'd be like, can I just hold the briefcase for a moment?
See what it was like if you knew how to act.
Can I? And like the reason why it would be a no is, you know, the community piece. Like, you know, I mean, it's essentially the same thing, and it's, you know, it's not like the barbecue, you know. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the thing. And here's my conspiracy theory. If we was on Twitter, they got this thing now. If you're a conspiracy theory video, you knocked off the main page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, fall out, y'all. I swear, before you make it big in the industry, they you get like an email that's like, all right, you got to talk against your people.
Yeah.
Just once. But you gotta do it once.
And we'll let you back. Yeah.
And don't worry, the black community is very forgiving.
Yeah.
You know, but just one. All right, Don Lemon.
Oh man.
Just once. Piss them all off, and then you got them forever. You'll say something deep 6 years from now, and they'll welcome you right back.
I can't remember why I didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. I might have to look at it.
What was it? All the black.
Don Lemon was the pull your pants up king.
Pull your pants up.
Okay.
Your football player was the dude. It's just
Michael Sam.
Man, so many of them, man. Yeah. It's just like they gotta say something crazy about their own folk at least once.
Sure.
Right. And then then out of nowhere it's like they get keys to the kingdom. Like, all right, you know, like it's almost like, you know, like society's damn like the Crips. Like that's how you get beat in. You gotta get jumped in by talking shit against your people. You gotta get your people ass whooping.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be famous for real. So anyway, so that's where my conflict comes from, because I'm like, man, I swear this is just par for the course.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the only person who was like, I ain't gonna do it is Dave Chappelle. And he's on a farm.
Literally. Paid for in Ohio.
He's on a farm.
Hey, and I've been to that town. Not a lot going on, dog.
I'm just saying, it's a nice block. You know what I'm saying?
Xenia
the price of freedom, boy. So, you know, I mean, I would not take the money, but you know, I would be wondering though, was that my one time? You know, like it was going to be
your chance to fail your people at one time,
right? Just
they might have forgave me
just once. Yeah.
Just once. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, everybody fucking up. Just once. They say one crazy thing, and then out of nowhere they got tours in Japan.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I don't know what's going on, Erica. Jesus.
It's the email. I'm telling you, they get that email and they be like, look, man, trust me. Just once.
You could.
All right. That's enough of this shenanigans. Next, who do we got? Teddy, we got you next. What's up?
Okay. All right. So my topic is you know, this is basically, the show is about the super woke bowl, right? So like
that's the title.
There you go. So I was thinking of things in context of the Super Bowl halftime show, because Maroon 5 performed, by the time you heard this, I'm sure, Travis Scott, Big Boy. Big Boy has gotten a pass because he's Big Boy, which, you know, that kind of comes with the territory.
I guess.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, there's things to address, but overall, I haven't seen a lot of bad stuff about Big Boy. So the NFL heard all the cries of, "Hey, you're in Atlanta. Why not get black artists? It's Atlanta. Like, what are you doing?" But so many black artists turned them down because how they've treated Colin Kaepernick. And the latest was Cardi B, who said, "I'm giving up a lot of money not performing, but Colin Kaepernick gave up a whole career, so I really can't compare the two, right?" So,
that was Gladys Knight.
Oh,
sorry,
Jesus.
continue.
Dude. Have you been to the Chicken and Waffles, by the way?
I have.
I have not.
It wasn't Roscoe's, but it was solid. It was solid. The chicken was better than the waffles. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I was like, I actually asked her to sit down. I was like, "Are you okay?"
Talk to me. Talk to me, please. So, anyways, in that context, I was thinking about halftime performers, and I think about somebody who I've had a very, very strained opinion of, and that's Justin Timberlake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Justin Timberlake performed last year, I believe it was, if not last year, the year before, and he did a tribute to Prince while the Super Bowl was in Minnesota, and the whole thing. Yeah. And if you notice, one thing that wasn't addressed during that performance or any other interview that he did was what happened with Janet Jackson back in 03, 04, right?
Right.
And that was the fame, "I'm gonna have you naked" by the end of the song. He ripped something off, and then, according to, depending on who you listen to, her nipple was exposed. Whose fault it was is up in the air. But at the time, if you remember, he blamed Janet, and that's how he got back in the good graces with the NFL all these years later.
Probably, he was crying and whatever.
Yeah, it was horrible. So
I didn't know if I pulled it, the titty would fall
but he was
out.
crying over a nipple, dog. Like, I mean,
Whatever.
Okay, so, it took me down the road of white performers and the way that some, i.e., Justin Timberlake, if you want to go to the original, Elvis, have been viewed in our community. If it's a favorable view, is that view okay and or earned? Is where I ended up, and I went back and forth, and I'm like, I just don't know. And then I thought about the last song that he did on Justin Timberlake's album, and it was a song that came out with called "Say Something," where the chorus says, "Sometimes the greatest way to say something is to say nothing at all." Everybody says, "Say
nice.
something, say something." Yeah. Should I really have to explain the problematic? It's just bad. It's just bad.
Listeners who don't get it. So they may be wondering. So could you tell them why that fucking sucks?
Well, because it is an R&B song about white privilege, right? Like,
and not just about white privilege. An R&B song where he's like, "I'm gonna keep doing it." Like,
right? Like,
I'm okay with this.
Like, I hear these blacks talking about their civil disobedience, and I'm just gonna stay over here. I'm good. I don't know what these guys are talking about. Like, what? Really? Okay.
Do not associate my silence with complicity.
Yes.
But
yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And
you don't know me.
So a comedian, and I apologize, I don't have his name offhand, but a comedian said it best when he's just like, being white can be like Magneto at times. Okay. Like, you're just walking your normal path, getting from one place to the next. You might be going to CVS. To you, it's normal. But to me, I look up, and there's metal beams that are holding your feet up as you walk to the store. And it's
gliding you along.
Yo, this
must be nice.
Like, what is this? And Magneto's like, "This is life. What are you talking about? Shut up." Right?
Look, I earned these powers.
That's right. Charles can't mess with me with the helmet, but now
I was born this way. Can't blame me.
So yeah, but the larger discussion. I mean, are there any thoughts? Am I off base? Because I mean, I can go down and name some more artists, but I think Timberlake is just like the perfect example of like, really, bro? Like,
I mean, I think it feels like he said it. Like, even if you had any questions, so if you think about what happened with Janet Jackson and the fact that, like, even in the article, like, he didn't speak up. Right. He didn't speak up for her. Apparently, they were friends, which made it even worse. Was that, like, they were friends and not just two people performing together. And he still didn't stand up for her. He still didn't speak up for her. And then you sang a song about it. So it kind of makes me feel like, I don't even know, I have never heard the song, and I'm not even going to look for the song. Yeah. For that reason, that like, I don't need to listen to you because you already, you told me where you stand. You know what I mean? So I don't think I'm surprised to hear those lyrics, because when he had an opportunity to stand up, and when he's had, I'm sure, multiple opportunities to stand up, he didn't. He sat very comfortably in his white privilege, and that's the beauty of it. You have the privilege of being able to say nothing and you lose nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, I was in a diversity class once, which it was weird to begin with because they had us watching Crash.
Oh. Hollywood. Can I stop using that as an example, Hollywood?
So
it's horrible.
So they have us watching Crash. I'm the only black guy,
of course,
in the room, and
I'm sorry.
Somebody pulled you aside at a coffee break. Like, did you relate to Ludacris?
Man, listen. So I'm like, so we're watching it, and like supposedly, so we're getting ready to like, you know, go into these communities. You know, it's like an AmeriCorps program. So we're supposed to be going into these, you know, underprivileged communities and blah, blah, blah. And we watched the movie and they're like, all right, so kind of, you know, what are your thoughts? You know, and I'm sitting there like, here we go. Man, yo, the loudest crickets I've ever heard in my entire life, man. Yeah. I mean, nothing. You could hear a pin drop. And so I'm like, fuck. So I raised my hand. And I'm like, look, I don't got an opinion on this movie, but I got an opinion on y'all. Because the truth of the matter is, this is probably going to be the safest experience you'll probably ever have to actually deal with some of this shit. And y'all being quiet right now,
nothing.
Y'all being quiet right now tells me a whole lot about what y'all really about, you know. And, you know, we had spent like a week with each other, you know, in training. And, you know, let's go to these different places. Let's get a beer. Let's go to the piano bar and you know, sing, you know, Rent. You know what I mean? You want to do all that?
Just a small town girl.
520,000 minutes. Like, y'all want to do all that shit, right?
Yep.
You want me to call y'all my brother and da 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 da. But you know, y'all can't even y'all don't even got an opinion, and then start the tears.
I'm so sorry.
And
I'm sorry.
And the phrase that I just said jokingly was actually verbatim. Say, it's not fair for you know, you to conflate my silence with complacency. I was like,
okay.
So then
I have no patience for that.
So yeah. Yeah, ain't digging it. Justin. Ain't digging it because you can. And I mean, like, I'm not gonna spend 10 minutes of you know, pushing what we already know, but it's just, you just had that ability, you know. And like, there was this meme that was not a meme, it was a sign, and it was like this white dude holding up a sign. Basically, he was like, you know, essentially, we as white people need to speak up, especially when we don't have to. You know, like, you know, like, if you can go living your life and it not bother you, and you think it don't have nothing to do with you because it doesn't affect you directly, that's the problem. Right there. You know, so, you know, I mean, I don't know all of Justin Timberlake, but I do know that, you know, he's back walking amongst his folk. You know, so yeah.
It's just, I'm glad to know it wasn't just
not
me.
surprising.
No.
No.
So all right. Continuing on into the third quarter of the
Super Bowl.
NFL special.
Super Bowl. Ooh, there was some hard hits. I mean, some of those plays are just consistent. I really wish Pete was here because I don't know football. Fourth down. So Lita, what you got for us?
All right. So what I have is an article about the unfulfilled dreams of MLK in terms of the Super Bowl and things like that, and of course Kaepernick. And so it was interesting to me because like we look at how people are sort of like, it should be separate. You shouldn't be talking about these things. You know, people just want to enjoy the game, on and on and on. And so one of the things that came up in the article, and there's an organization, Rise, that's doing a lot of work, I guess, with the NFL, is the idea that like, and like, we love the cute quotes for MLK, but the reality is that like he encouraged athletes to use their platform. And so, you know, it's not, you know, you see a Kaepernick and it's kind of like, yes, like this, it makes sense. You're supposed to use your platform. So the article, though, was interesting because there were two pieces that kind of stood out to me. One was the former commissioner, Tagliabue,
right,
had this whole quote in it or whatever. But like at the end of it, he kind of is like, it was almost kind of like, he was like, we didn't know that that's what Kaepernick was doing. He should have made his message more clear. And it was like bullshit. It was right. It was kind of like, seriously. So basically, like you know that you guys have gotten bad press. You haven't lost everybody, but you've certainly lost some of your fans. And so they're kind of like, if it kind of feels like even the timing of the video being released, you know, February 1st, feels like, all right, we know we need to do something. And so here it is. So the idea that his message was unclear is one of those, it's like, either you think I'm stupid or you really are stupid, because he couldn't have been more clear as to why he was kneeling. So that was one piece of it. And then the other piece for me was just the idea, you know, coming back to the fact that like, we know why he was kneeling. We know it had to do with people of color and social injustices and things like that. And honestly, I'm confused. So when I go through my timeline and I see Black folks or people of color who are still like all about the NFL, I'm like, you saw how they did Kaepernick. You saw how they treated other athletes who tried to, you know, stand for what they believed in or kneel for what they believed in. We saw all of this. We see that there are no African-American owners. Like, we see these things, and yet you're still cheering them on, and I don't understand it. Like, I'm really confused about it.
Yeah. So the irony is we just had MLK Jr. Day, and my favorite meme from that is, how about the people that are quoting MLK Jr. today are the same people that were cursing Colin Kaepernick for a nonviolent protest?
Right.
Like what are we missing here? Like,
well, MLK did it right. He didn't piss anybody off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he did it in his backyard around a campfire with silencers around him, so nobody had to hear him.
Yeah. And then shout out to Black people online who didn't let people forget what MLK's whole message was.
Right.
Which was the most dangerous thing that the Negro has to worry about these days is white moderates who would much rather have a peaceful existence than to question status quo and worry about justice.
The same.
Okay.
So these are the same ones who are kind of like, and it was interesting. Like, I used to work with these dads at a prison up in Cumberland, here in Maryland, and one day one of the head guys at the prison came into our meeting, which pissed me off anyway. But he wanted to have, like, he was like, oh, interrupt our meeting, because he wants to know what me and the dads think about the whole thing with the kneeling Kaepernick in the NFL.
Okay.
And his thing, which I'm like, first of all, there's a power dynamic here because they're inmates and you're, someone who works here. So there's that thing. They don't really want to piss you off.
Right.
I don't want you to kick me out. So like the mere fact that you don't even recognize that, okay. But the thing that annoyed me was like, it was this sort of idea of like, I just want to watch a football game. They're not like laying on the field so that they can't play the game. You can watch a football game.
Man, what about, so, I have a brother, different mother. And like they grew up in the hood. And for him, football was like how he was going to save his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like football was going to be his ticket. He grew up watching, he got a divorce because the woman he was with, didn't believe, just didn't believe in him. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was how he saw a big part of his identity.
Right.
And there are a lot of people that are like that. There are a lot of people who, and again, it still stems from white supremacy. It's like, fuck, why is this?
Yeah.
Why is this the fucking ticket? Even though the odds are so not in your favor. No. So people can, that's part of it for some people. I've heard, I've witnessed, because I'm like, motherfuckers love this shit. And to me it's baffling, but I'm not an athlete. You know what I mean? And I don't know if there's anything, I've had someone, even kind of criticize, like, okay, well, have you had that one thing that you are hinging your whole existence on? Not saying it's right, is a good thing to do. But for those people, kids who like that was it, been playing since they were, able to push. Yeah. Is it, who are we who don't live that life? I'm just throwing it out there to be like, hey, get that shit up.
Yeah. Well, no, that's valid. And I think, for me, it is one of those things because like most people, you got friends and family that play football and they love it. And it's all part of social gatherings, all that stuff. But I think as much as we focus on the NFL, to me, college is even more egregious, and I think I think that the power dynamic between coaches and players, especially in football, can be literally deadly. Several times a year, there's a player that either dies or nearly dies. And if you ever want to just get mad, go on Google and look up Dabo Swinney and Colin Kaepernick. I had a friend post this a couple of days ago. There was, mind you, he's a church-going dude, and he posted like a 30-second clip of this 10-minute rant that Dabo Swinney went on, who's the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, by the way, the guys that won college football national championship. Okay. And in that rant, the clip that he showed is like, if we loved our neighbors more and we love Jesus, things will be all right. Okay. But what was taken out of context was what his point of that whole rant is. The reporter asked him, what do you think about Colin Kaepernick? He says, why don't we just meet together after the game, talk about it? Whatever it is you got to say, I want to hear, and so be it. To me, that is the soft shoeing, cowardly way of trying to attack someone who's protesting when the whole point of protesting is to cause
a disruption.
Right, I'm gonna do it when it's convenient.
Yeah, like come on, man.
After the game, when
no one's watching.
Hey, by the way, I gotta go.
right, because I gotta go to my $4 million house where you got class on Monday. Like, come on, dog,
man. And it's not strange that it's actually funny. Like, this is how this works. Yes, I make you. The only reason why you think about it more is because I'm fucking with your shit. You know,
Right.
So it's a little weird to me that people like this. This is what this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just weird to me. It's like we driving and you mad that I'm using wheels. So yeah, it's just. So anyway, it's not weird because it makes perfect sense. It's nigga, shut the fuck up. That's what this is. Yeah. When it's when women are talking about their equal rights. Like, people like, oh, I'm just trying to look at this objectively. No, you're basically trying to tell a person, shut the fuck up. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But period. I don't understand is like there's so many levels though. So they're like. I mean, there's racism throughout when it comes. If we talk about the NFL, right? There's that piece, and then we talked briefly even about just the physical piece of it. Like, people get hurt, like even just getting hit that hard repeatedly. It's gotten to the point where I'm pretty sure, like certain places, I was reading an article a few weeks ago that talks about the fact that in certain places they are setting age limits in terms of like how young kids can be to play like contact football.
Oh wow. All right.
Because kids and it's kind of like you think about it, especially for the developing brain. Yeah, you shouldn't be getting knocked around like that. But in spite of all of that, the louder the hit, the louder we scream. And I've been there too. I'm not saying like I've never watched a football game. I've been there. I've screamed at the hit, whatever it is. Right. But at some point, it's kind of like, what are we fighting for? What are we standing up for? There's so many things about it that's problematic. The fact that the DC team still has a name that it has, and the same black folks will still stand up and defend that. And I'm like, I really don't understand.
Yeah. Well, there's this prevailing narrative with our people, which is like, people just getting too soft. People just getting too soft. And it's just, oh yeah, we made those jokes and we were just fine. And I'm like,
come on, dude.
You really think this is a legitimate argument?
Right.
Like,
the old people will say that we solved. You would have lost your mind if my grandparents drank from your same water fountain. What are you talking about?
I saw that shit. I was like, facts.
What are you talking about?
Son. Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know. For me, it's just a thing about all that noise. Cause I also wonder, like, we get a lot of this information off of social media. I swear they fucking with me.
Social media?
Yeah, man. I swear the algorithms is just like, yo, we got to keep this nigga angry. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, because you just keep thinking, man, all these people in the world and the comment section, I think it's just showing this shit to me. Because it's like, we got to surround ourselves with people to make a difference. We got to surround ourselves with people who aren't just going to talk about it, but will do it. And I feel like maybe I'm just spending too much time with social media, just reading this stuff and being in my head and not actually getting my ass, outside and doing it because
it's great.
So anyway, this shit is depressing.
Yeah.
And I can't afford it.
That's why sometimes I got to scroll past. There's a lot of stuff you kind of ignore. I've gone to families' houses and the game is on and I just stay quiet. But yeah, it's hard. I see posts and I just scroll by them.
Yeah.
People
want to put fences around gardens and shit.
Oh.
Anyway,
all right. Another one.
Anyway, deep one. Anyway, deep cut. So, all right. So with that, man, the way we usually end this show for our new listeners and for old school, we have what we call our Spike Lee. You know what? He did good for Black Klansmen, so I ain't gonna like it.
I have not seen that.
It was good. We got this for today at least is the Chrisette Michelle.
Oh Lord.
Sit your ass down. / slow clap. A slow clap is what you get when something is actually pretty good. Yep. One more. There we go. So I got a couple of. I'm gonna run through these real quick. So I'm gonna start off with a sit your ass down. No.
All right.
What am I gonna do? Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna start off with sit your ass down. My first sit your ass down is Apple.
Yes, I was hoping you said that one. I'm just mad at them. Go ahead.
Apple products. Look, y'all been fucking with us for a minute.
Yeah,
all right?
man.
Y'all keep changing the plugs to shit. Y'all be taking away buttons and then selling us new buttons.
Like an abusive relationship. Just,
you know what I'm saying? And I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm an iPhoneian, you know what I mean? But it's damn near like being black.
Listen,
you know what I'm
just
saying?
when you think you got it, switch it up on you.
Selling me back my old music. Justin Timberlake. So, all right. So, interestingly enough, so I'm sure if you're not under rock, you've heard that basically there was a glitch in the iPhone that if people call you via FaceTime group, not regular FaceTime, but FaceTime group, so that means a couple niggas could be listening to you. Because I don't know about y'all, I got a slick mouth. So somebody called me, y'all might hear me say some foolishness. And they was listening to people's foolishness for about a good 2 weeks.
I'm surprised nobody got like caught cheating or something. That's what I was
I'm
like,
sure they
I was waiting
did.
for the story to come up. They were like, we're not telling Apple. We want to keep
Like,
this going for a while.
I'm suing Apple. Look, I'm like, will somebody do this to R. Kelly?
Listen.
Can we wrap that up? You know what I'm saying? Like, use your evil for good,
man.
But anyway, I want to give them a sit your ass down, because there's
sit your
ass down, man, because y'all knew better. And there's this 14-year-old boy for about 2 weeks was telling y'all about this. Y'all was like, shut the fuck up.
In Arizona.
Y'all like, shut up. 14-year-old kid who actually did it. And at the end of the day, dude was like, can I just get a shout out? You know, can I get a thank you? Can I get a a scholarship to MIT or something? Can you help a brother out? You know, Apple's like, basically, I'll read a little bit. It said, Apple has declined to say when it learned about the problem. The company, it says the company also wouldn't say if it has logs that could show if anyone took advantage of this bug before it became publicly known. Bullshit. They said the company reached out to the Thompson family on Tuesday, offering to give some public credit for their efforts. So yeah, so at least they reached out to him. He was like, "Man, I wish they would say something." So anyway, sit your ass down, Apple.
Sit your
monkey ass down. All right, so that was that. Now I got a slow clap. I want to give a slow clap to Miss Candace Payne. I'm gonna even go start out. So Miss Candace Payne is a Chicago woman, and her act of kindness helped homeless people. So if you're listening to this, January 3rd, we had in Chicago, it was colder than Mount Everest. Like
February 3rd, but yes.
What I say?
January, it's okay.
Hey.
That's how cold it was.
That's how cold it is.
That's what it was.
So it was so cold. So this woman, she actually put like 20. She bought 20 rooms on a credit card for homeless people.
It was a sister, right?
Yeah, it was a sister. Yeah, Candace Payne.
Listen, I'm not making any assumptions, but I did see a picture.
Let's get the sister's credit, man. And her act of kindness actually, was paying it forward. So this other organization heard what she was doing and then helped out 60 rooms altogether. 80 people ended up getting rooms for about 3 nights to help them through this time. Right. So, give it up to Chicago. Black women taking care of the community. Yeah. Slow clap.
We do.
Woo. All right. Yeah, struggle claps. You gotta love it, man.
It's real.
All right. My next, I'm switching. Now I'm going back to sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. So I don't know if y'all know this, but Forbes just came out with an article. Has any of y'all ever heard of student loans?
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I hear a lot of people got these shits, and you know, there was I think it actually did it start with the Obama administration? I think it did, where they were like,
no.
Well, 10 years. You know, no, it might have been. Let's blame Bush. So
that's right.
Yeah.
When in doubt.
Super woke Olympics. So basically, it says it's funny. The article actually says this. Here's a shocking statistic. 99% of people who applied for public service loan forgiveness has been rejected.
99%.
I find it difficult to believe that 99% of people didn't do what they were supposed to do.
As of June 30th, 2018, 28,000 student loan borrowers submitted 33,000 applications for public service loan forgiveness. Of that total, approximately 29,000 applications have been processed. Of that total, more than 70% have been denied due to borrowers not meeting program requirements. For example, they say borrowers did not have eligible student loans. They said they didn't make 120 qualifying payments or have qualifying employment.
I just find that hard to whatever.
And then another 28% of the applicants were denied due to missing or incomplete information on their forms.
Oh, okay.
So out of all them motherfuckers, only 300 applications were approved. Joe.
I think they got those 33,000 applications and they were like, holy shit, if we don't get all that money, some of us get fired.
Man.
If they miss a period, send it back.
Listen, Sally Mae had a bazooka to somebody's infant child and was like, do it. I dare you. I'm crazy. I dare you.
They took a sec day. When 5 years ago, nope.
Sally Mae was like, yo, so I just don't believe it. I don't know about y'all. I'm giving the government a sit your ass down award.
Sit your non-compliant ass down.
Now, I know we got some Republican listeners who's like, no, who needs to sit down is the people who didn't fill out those applications. Read.
Whatever.
If you just read 99%.
Yeah, no, I find it hard to put. It's interesting for me because I'm almost done with my program and I've thought about what I want to do after. And part of me was like, oh, loan forgiveness. And I was like, no, I mean, I'm not dependent on that. Either I'm going to die with them or I will figure out something and make enough money to just pay back what I need to pay back because I don't believe it. I do not have faith in the system.
In my life's experience, you know, I know we got these systems and people in the United States believe that the systems work, but don't none work better than knowing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't none know. I swear those 300 people are like cousins of the 1%. Like, look.
Right.
Look.
That's the other piece.
We promised Timmy. We promised him.
They know somebody.
We told him he had to use his inheritance, but come on, generational wealth. You know how we keep the world going.
That's it,
look,
man.
Push it through. Yeah, he slummed in Cincinnati for 10 years. No one should have to go through that.
Shout out to our 513 listeners. Yeah.
Okay. He's number 201.
Wow.
Set your ass down.
Yeah. I will be curious to to see, and I wonder too, like if they get denied, can it be like, oh, just reapply, or is it like you're denied and that's it? So,
well, that's what I'm saying. They ain't helping nobody. Just think about it though. They go if they even did it legitimately, they're going through like year 7, dog. You
might won't give up by now, bro.
Year 7 out of 10. Year 7. Oh, you had the flu. Sorry, man. You should have used the automatic pay feature. Sorry, man. Damn, Chuck. Well, so anyway. All right. I guess I'll do this last one. This is a slow clap. Right. It's just a little one because I like to fix my own shit. So right now, I want to give a slow clap to the UK Parliament because they're passing a bill right now, basically trying to get rid of these laws that are saying that you can't fix shit. So let's say, for example, if you old school, you like to fix your cars up, cool. But these new cars that are coming out, they got the computers in it and shit. So, if I buy a bumper to bumper warranty, but it comes out that somebody, I use my backstreet mechanic, shade tree mechanic to fix it, it could void my warranty. Yeah. I don't know about y'all. But the way I'm living, the way Sally may be checking on me, the way that I'm part of the 99%,
right.
I might need to do something. I might need to change a light bulb. Is what I'm saying.
All right.
So they pushing. So I want to get that slow clap just for the people who are pushing to get rid of those laws, so people can actually fix their shit. Give it up.
Do you think that would happen here, though?
Well, I mean, you got to start somewhere. You got to set a precedent. Okay. So it's called the Right to Repair movement. Yeah. Shout out to Right to Repair. Make it happen so I can fix my shit cheaply.
There you go.
All right.
Well played.
So with that, man, I don't. That's a weird ending to the woke.
Super woke bowl.
Super woke bowl.
Yeah. I want to fix my own car.
But when you let the inmates run the,
hey, that's all there, man. This is all there.
This is what you get. This is what you get. This is just what you get. So anyway, with that, yo, let's wrap this up. Just saying, any last thoughts before, and you want to throw out where they can find you, Lita?
Yep, Lita. At Lita Mixed Reviews on Facebook. And last thoughts: leave the NFL alone. Let it go. It ain't worth it.
Yep. Those hopes and dreams. You're better off becoming a doctor.
There you go. Whoa.
No, like statistically, you'll be a doctor sooner. Teddy, where can they find?
Teddy_D_ on Twitter, and Dwight Ted on Instagram, and Dwight D on Facebook.
Indeed. And I'm your boy Rock, aka Ronald McNair, and you can catch me on Facebook at Ronald McNair. And yeah, let's blast off. Thanks for joining us. Peace.